Where did the New York City pizza come from, and why is it popular? Welcome to part 2 of our series on New York pizza. In case you missed part 1 that covers the basics of New York pizza, link to that is in the description below. And while we're at it, make sure you hit that like button. Many of us know that pizza originated in Italy, specifically in Naples. Pizza arrived in New York City 100+ years ago when the Italian immigrants were coming into the city by the hundreds of thousands. Because pizza was food from home, the Italian immigrants made pizza for themselves and their families. So at first, the only place to find pizza was in the homes of Italian immigrants. There's a little bit of a debate on who really was the first to commercialize pizza both in New York and the United States. The problem I find with history is that it's a popularity contest. It's the popular story that gets handed down. So my advice, take history with a grain of salt. And anything on the internet for that matter. And speaking of the internet points to a man named Gennaro Lombardi, who had a grocery shop in Little Italy in Manhattan. This grocery shop eventually sold pizza. Today, there's still a Lombardi's Pizzeria on Spring Street in Little Italy, Manhattan, although it's not the original location. Some say his employee Antonio Totono Pero was the reason Lombardi sold pizza in the first place. And internet stories also say that it was Totono who figured out that using coal versus wood like they do in Naples made the oven hotter and cooked the dough faster. Eventually, Totono also opened up a shop of his own in Coney Island, which is also still there today. Lombardi also had 2 other employees that opened up their own pizzerias. And the nephew of one of them also opened up their own business. And from here, some of these original pizzerias added other locations and the pizza business in New York expanded. I consider 3 things that give New York pizza its popularity. It's sold by the slice, World War II, and gas. Back then, a lot of people were short on cash, and at the same time, workers were always looking for a quick lunch. It was only logical that pizza had started to be sold by the slice. Selling by the slice made it cheap and popular among the workers. Then, during World War II, the American military was sent to fight in Italy. They were there long enough to acquire a taste for pizza, so when they came back, they were like, yo, I want some pizza. Thus, a new market for pizza was born, which made pizza even more popular. But the road to pizza fame doesn't stop here. Here's where the story of how gas came into play. So coal and wood ovens give pizza that signature charred crust that you don't really get with gas ovens. But most pizzerias in New York today use gas, which gives pizza a bit of a crunch. But it's not really the same. If you're a pizza connoisseur, you will definitely notice the difference. But why is the gas more popular today when coal oven pizzas make for a better taste? We'll have to take a deep dive into this one, so settle in. Coal ovens often used a particular coal, and most of this particular coal was mined in eastern Pennsylvania. Because the northeastern part of the United States has easy access to this particular coal ovens were popular to use in this area. Not so much the western part of the United States, because shipping coal to the western half is pretty expensive. So people found other ways to heat an oven, and gas became a crowd favorite. Over time, people came to realize that gas ovens were way cooler. They were more efficient to use, less fussy to maintain, and best of all, they were cheaper in general. In short, the gas oven started to gain notoriety. So back in New York City, people started using gas ovens as well. Before, not a lot of people could have coal ovens because everything about coal ovens was a lot of hassle, from installing to cleaning to maintaining, but not the gas oven. The gas oven was easier and cheaper to have. To say the least, the gas oven democratized pizza making. Suddenly, a lot of people, including non-Italian Americans, started to make pizza. So now you have the perfect storm of people wanting pizza and the ability of almost anyone to gain pizza-making powers because of the gas oven. So what do you get? Pizza explosion in New York City. But coal ovens are still around today if you really want a coal oven pizza. But most pizzerias are going to have gas ovens. It's really a matter of being old school artisanal versus being efficient. So we just finished part 2 of our 3-part New York Pizza series. Hit subscribe and that notification bell so you won't miss part 3, where we talk about the dollar pizza. And until next time, thank you so much for watching and happy New Yorking.